multiplying and dividing signed numbers. Multiplying and dividing signed numbers. So, with multiplying and dividing signed numbers, if we have the same sign, so if we have a, well, let's do what we're used to, a positive times a positive, or a positive divided by a positive, we always end up with a positive, right? Now, if we do a negative times a negative, or a negative divided by a negative, we're also going to now end up with a positive. So same sign with multiplying and dividing any numbers. If it's the same sign, it's always going to be positive. Now, if they're different signs, so if we have a positive times a negative, or a positive divided by a negative, it's always going to be negative. Okay, same thing if I just switch around the order, a negative times a positive, or a negative divided by a positive, it's going to be negative. So different signs means that our answer is going to be negative. So how about negative 20 divided by 5? Negative 20 divided by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Negative divided by positive is going to be negative. Or negative 3 times negative 7. Negative 3 times negative 7. 3 times 7 is 21. A negative times a negative is a positive. Positive 21. How about, let's do this one. Negative 2 times negative 5 times negative 3. So negative 2 times negative 5 times negative 3. Now let's do it. Negative 2 times negative 5. That's going to be a positive 10. Positive 10 times negative 3 is going to be a negative 30. Or how about negative 4 times negative 2 times negative 1 times negative 2. So negative 4 times negative 2, that's going to be positive 8. I'm just going to bring everything else down. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 2 is going to be a positive 16. So I kind of gave us a couple of those longer ones to kind of look at a pattern. So look at the negative 2 times negative 5 times negative 3. Notice there were 3 negatives there, and our answer ended up being negative. Versus the next one, the last example, there was 4 negatives, and it ended up positive. So the general rule would be is if you had an odd number of negatives, it would always end up being negative. If you had an even number of negatives, it would end up being positive. So odd number of negatives, negative, even number of negatives, it would end up being positive.